Chosen one, stop scrolling your feed right now. Do not dare to move past this video. I am not simply asking for your attention today. I am absolutely warning you about your future. If you swipe away right now, you are actively choosing to sever the exact timeline heaven prepared for you. The enemy is screaming at you to leave. He knows this truth will permanently destroy his access. Someone who treated you as an option is currently experiencing a full-blown internal system crash. You know exactly who I am talking about. They walked around your life with absolute arrogance. They constructed a completely false narrative about you. They whispered lies to anyone who would listen while you sat in total silence. But their mask did not just slip today. It completely shattered in front of the exact people they used to gossip with. This collapse is not happening in a private space. This is a highly public and irreversible collapse. Nobody has ever seen them act like this before. They expected your departure to break your spirit. Instead, you became the wild uncertainty they could never handle because you refused to play their toxic game. This moment right here is not a coincidence. The algorithm absolutely did not bring you here. God intercepted your feed today because you are standing at the exact threshold of a permanent shift. What I am about to reveal was sealed in the throne room of heaven until this very second. The Dark Triad personality thrives on complete control, but right now they have absolutely no control left. Lock your attention on this message right now. That heavy, suffocating feeling in your chest is not random. It is your highly advanced spirit detecting their absolute panic. They are desperately starving for your pure energy. The spiritual backlash is hitting your physical body, but you must not break your silence, because your silence is the lethal weapon that starved their demons. They thought they could replace you very easily. They looked for new sources of energy to drain, but they quickly realized that your specific depth is utterly unreplicable. Every room they walk into feels empty without your pure light shining through. They are drowning in the noise of their own making, and they are frantically searching for a way to pull you back. Buckle in, chosen one, and listen very closely. What you are about to hear is not just commentary. It is a specific and undeniable X-ray of the meltdown happening behind closed doors right now. If you leave before the end, you will forfeit the exact prophetic instruction you need to secure your upcoming blessing. Heaven is handing your vindication to you on a silver platter today. Time was supposed to rapidly age your body. They spent years praying for your ultimate downfall. They expected the betrayals to carve deep, heavy wrinkles into your face. They wanted to drain the life out of your beautiful eyes. Instead, you walked through the fire and came out glowing like a diamond. You truly aged backwards in front of them. While their bitterness and envy are aging them rapidly, the universe has reversed your biological clock. Let that sink in for a quick moment. Nothing makes your enemies sicker than watching you step into a room looking younger and brighter. You are completely unbothered after everything they put you through. They absolutely despise your quiet and unbothered peace. God made sure you found this specific message today. You have been fighting tough battles in absolute silence. You truly thought nobody noticed your silent tears. You thought nobody saw how you held your integrity when they lied on your name. But the divine realm was watching every single second. Your quiet obedience in private has just activated a massive public blessing. The people who doubted you are about to watch heaven prepare a table for you. The Dark Triad manipulator is terrified of this exact moment. They already know their time is completely up. Justice is standing right at their front door. Do not dare to scroll away right now. If you leave this video, you will miss the exact sequence of events that is about to unfold. They are trying to send negative frequencies to disrupt your peace. They desperately want your mind to be distracted. But you are anchored in a higher dimension now. Their dark magic bounces off your energetic shield and returns to them multiplied. Stay with me, because today I am going to reveal the exact emotional alchemy you used to freeze time. We are going to expose the hidden mechanics of their narcissistic collapse. You will understand exactly why they cannot sleep at night. You will see the spiritual chains they placed on themselves when they betrayed your pure heart. The raw truth is finally coming out today. This specific message is your absolute divine ultimatum. You are standing on holy ground right now. The Dark Triad runs from a true chosen one because you reflect the raw truth they desperately hide. You are the mirror they cannot ever escape. Prepare yourself for the ultimate vindication you deserve. If your spirit confirms this raw truth, gently press the like button to seal your energetic alignment with heaven. Do not dare to move a single muscle. Now let us go deeper into your reality today, because there is a very real physical reason you have been feeling that heavy weight this week. You are not crazy, and it is not just stress. That suffocating tightness in your chest at 3 in the morning is a massive spiritual warning. That burning exhaustion behind your eyes is a real energetic response. Your highly advanced spirit is detecting something deeply sinister in the atmosphere, and it is desperately trying to wake you up before the next attack. You have been walking around with a strange brain fog lately. Your jaw feels incredibly tight when you first wake up. You feel like you ran a marathon while you were sleeping in your bed. This physical weight you feel is your body absorbing the frantic energy of the narcissist, because they just realized they can no longer feed on your precious light. You are actively feeling their severe withdrawal symptoms. Listen closely, because this is the exact part the enemy tried to hide from you. You have a heart that is far too pure for their toxic matrix. You acted as a human battery for a literal parasite. They attach themselves to your bright spirit because they are completely empty inside, and they desperately need to steal the divine spark they were never given. The Dark Triad personality has no internal light of their own. They must constantly steal their energy from the anointed ones. Listen to me very carefully right now. 99% of people completely miss this critical shift. Every time you tried to heal them, you gave away a piece of your vital essence. You kept pouring your pure love into a bottomless black hole while trying to be the ultimate stabilizer in a completely chaotic environment. But they did not want your healing. They only wanted to consume your power. None of this was your fault, chosen one. You did not attract this darkness because you are broken or flawed. You attracted this severe spiritual attack because your frequency is incredibly high and rare. You were the brightest star in their dark universe, so they targeted you for utter destruction to make themselves feel powerful. But heaven placed an invisible shield around your precious soul. They could never actually break you. Let us break down exactly what happens when you wake up in a panic. You suddenly open your eyes at 3 in the morning with your heart racing fast. Their face flashes in your mind, and your stomach completely drops. The Matrix wants you to label this terrible feeling as standard anxiety, but that is absolutely not what is happening in your body right now. That is your cellular intuition intercepting their desperate psychic attacks across the spiritual realm. They are sitting in the dark, thinking about you with profound regret. The narcissist is desperately throwing energetic hooks to see if you will bite again. Stop swallowing that heavy feeling back down into your throat. Your strict silence is causing them to completely malfunction on a cellular level because you removed the primary food source they needed to survive. You are feeling the physical shockwave of a starving demon. Read that again in your beautiful spirit. You have always felt like the black sheep walking through this cold world. You felt completely isolated, even in rooms full of your own family members. But that painful isolation was actually an incubation season designed by the universe to protect your purity from the Dark Triad contamination. You were separated for a massive divine purpose. They could never understand your deep depth. The severe exhaustion you feel right now is the aftermath of a hidden spiritual war. You fought demons disguised as trusted friends and lovers for many heavy years. You carried the generational trauma of your entire bloodline on your tired shoulders. But the toxic cycles of poverty and broken relationships completely end with you today because you are the chosen cycle breaker heaven has been desperately waiting for. You are not invisible to the divine creator. Even when you thought nobody saw your silent tears, heaven kept a strict record. You held your peace when they dragged your good name through the absolute mud. You chose your deep dignity over your immediate revenge, and that single act of massive restraint signed their spiritual eviction notice forever. It handed a severe verdict to a court they cannot ever appeal. If this is resonating with your cellular knowing, do not move an inch. They manipulated your environment and turned the flying monkeys against you. The people you trusted suddenly started acting incredibly cold and distant. But heaven intentionally allowed that painful betrayal to show you exactly who truly belonged in your promised land moving forward. The manipulator thought they isolated you. They actually locked themselves in a cage. Your somatic weight is simply your physical body shedding their toxic venom. Every time your jaw tightens, your spirit is blocking a new manipulation tactic. Every time you feel that sudden chest pain, you are cutting a spiritual cord. You are no longer a victim, waiting in wound for an apology that will never come from a master manipulator who feels absolutely no remorse. You are transforming into an untouchable force. Let me completely reframe your reality right here and right now. You did not lose anything valuable when they walked away from you. You lost a parasite that was actively draining your physical and spiritual bank accounts. The Dark Triad runs from you now because they recognize the terrifying power of your awakened state, and they know their time of ruling over your mind is finished. They are terrified of your pure light. Now we must look at the raw and uncomfortable truth they could never say out loud to anyone. You probably did not realize it at the time, but your complete silence was a lethal weapon. Every single day that you refused to text them back, every single week that you blocked their numbers and walked past them without a single glance, you were slowly starving their inner demons. The Dark Triad personality lives and breathes for emotional reactions. They need your drama. They need your tears. They need your desperate phone calls to validate their sick control. When you cut off the supply, you put them in a state of absolute psychological starvation. Let me completely reframe your reality right now. You did not lose that relationship. You escaped a mental prison. They want everyone around them to believe that you are the cold and unfeeling one. They whisper lies behind your back to paint themselves as the innocent victim. But behind closed doors, their fragile ego is crumbling into tiny pieces. They cannot handle the deafening sound of your absolute indifference. They expected you to chase them. They expected you to beg for answers. Instead, you gave them nothing. You gave them the cold, dead silence of the universe. Listen to me very closely right now, because this is the exact part the narcissist tries desperately to erase. When a master manipulator loses control over your mind, they completely malfunction. They start picking fights with random people in their life. They throw explosive public tantrums. They try to recruit flying monkeys to spy on your quiet life. Every attempt they make to check your social media profiles or send indirect messages through mutual friends is a clear sign of their internal collapse. They are frantically searching for any microscopic trace of your energy, but your fortress is locked tight. Type 777 in the comments right now to physically lock in this frequency and seal your power. Do not let the Matrix trick you into feeling sorry for their miserable state. They chose this dark path. They built the very cage that is currently crushing their chest. While you were crying silent tears in the dark, you were undergoing a profound alchemical transformation. Your spirit was shedding its old skin. You were stepping into the unbreakable armor of a true chosen one. They thought they buried you in the dirt, but they did not realize that you were a sacred seed. Now let us examine the psychological mechanics of their daily nightmare. Every time they look in the mirror, they do not see a powerful manipulator anymore. They see a pathetic failure who could not break your unyielding spirit. They see a fraud whose mask was completely burned away by your pure light. That is why they run away from you in public. That is why they avoid looking directly into your eyes if you happen to cross paths. They are terrified that you will see right through their shallow facade. They know deep down in their corrupted soul that you are vastly superior to everything they will ever be. Stay with me, because this next revelation is the absolute key to your total liberation. The Dark Triad relies on projection to survive. They project all of their internal chaos, all of their hidden insecurities, and all of their disgusting wickedness onto your clean slate. They made you feel like you were the toxic one. They made you question your own sanity on a daily basis. But that was nothing more than a demonic gaslighting tactic, designed to keep you small, designed to keep you bowing down to their false authority. Those chains are broken forever. Your silence is a terrifying mirror. It forces them to look at their own rotting character without any filter. No normal human being can withstand that level of pure psychological exposure. That is why they are currently losing their minds. That is why their entire false world is collapsing into absolute ashes. You did not have to scream. You did not have to plot revenge. You simply had to walk away with your head held high and let the natural laws of divine retribution handle the rest. Read that again in your spirit. Your boundaries are iron walls. They can throw all the flying monkeys and petty gossip they want, but none of their dark weapons can pierce your divine aura. You are protected by an ancient and unstoppable force. The universe is currently realigning every single circumstance in your favor. The tables are turning faster than they can possibly run, and the heavy crown that rightfully belongs to you is finally being placed back onto your head. Stay right here, because we are only scratching the surface of their total defeat. Heaven is now releasing 4 divine spiritual truths about your specific aura. These profound truths explain exactly why the Dark Triad manipulator completely lost their mind around you. Pay close attention to this next part, because the enemy tried hard to hide this from you. The 4th truth is the absolute most powerful revelation. Do not leave before you hear it. The first truth is that you are the ultimate spiritual mirror. You were never the anomaly in someone else's otherwise perfectly healthy life. You were the exact divine mirror that forced them to look directly at their own rotting soul. The reaction got this incredibly loud because you got closer to their dark truth than anyone before you ever had. They absolutely hate you for truly seeing them. A Dark Triad personality builds an entire fake reality entirely based on lies and carefully crafted illusions. They need everyone around them to blindly believe their perfectly innocent mask. But when they stood in front of your pure, unedited light, their fake mask immediately melted away. Your genuine authenticity exposed their massive internal fraud without you ever having to say a single word out loud. The second divine truth is the severe frequency mismatch. You vibrate at a completely different cellular dimension than these desperate energy vampires. When they tried to attach their parasitic spiritual cords to your bright spirit, it physically burned their demonic entities. Your light is not just beautiful to them on a surface level. Your light is a highly destructive force that completely shatters their low-frequency matrix. They desperately tried to lower your vibration to safely match their miserable existence. They picked completely random fights to drain your peace and steal your daily joy, because as long as you were glowing bright, they felt deeply inferior and incredibly small. But no matter how much toxic venom they injected into your life, you kept rising back up. You kept shining brighter than ever before. The third truth is their pathetic and desperate attempt at identity theft. Listen to me very closely right now, because 99% of people completely miss this massive shift. They did not just want to temporarily break your kind heart. They actually wanted to permanently become you. They carefully studied your deep empathy and your genuine kindness so they could brutally weaponize it against others. They tried to wear your bright personality like a cheap plastic costume, but heaven absolutely does not allow empty demons to wear the heavy crown of the chosen ones. They quickly realized that they could easily copy your nice words, but they could never replicate your divine spiritual anointing. Their fake version of you always felt incredibly empty and completely hollow to the awake spiritual realm. And the more they tried to mimic your natural grace, the more pathetic and completely exhausted they became behind closed doors. Now, I need you to imagine this exact scenario happening in their chaotic mind right now. They are watching you beautifully thrive from a distance, and it is eating them alive. Every single time your blessed name is casually mentioned in their presence, they feel a sharp physical pain in their heavy chest. This brings us to the fourth and absolute most crucial divine truth. If this is resonating with your deep cellular knowing, do not move a single inch. The fourth truth is that your total and strict silence weaponized the mirror permanently. When you finally walked away and initiated full no contact, you securely locked them in a dark room with their own terrifying reflection. They no longer have your sweet, patient empathy to distract them from their own miserable internal void. You quickly removed the only pure oxygen source they had left in their dark and suffocating little world. They are currently drowning in the terrible loud noise of their own miserable making. Your absolute silence echoes far louder than any petty revenge you could have ever planned against them. You did not have to lower your incredibly high vibration to fight them in the dirty mud. You simply packed up your precious divine light and left them in the pitch-black darkness they originally created. They are absolutely terrified of the dark. You carry a specific and irreplaceable gravity that makes their silly, manipulative games look utterly foolish to the rest of the waking world. Let me reframe your entire beautiful reality right here and right now. You are the untouchable, radiant sun in this massive spiritual solar system. They were just a tiny dead planet, desperately trying to steal your warm glow. But the universe has firmly and completely severed their toxic orbit around your beautiful chosen life. The divine realm is actively pushing you into a beautiful season of massive acceleration. While they are forever stuck in a painful karmic loop of their own design, your divine path is clearing up beautifully today. Your biological clock is literally reversing right now because the heavy demonic parasite has been fully detached from your bright aura. Stay with me, because this next powerful revelation will show you exactly how their loyal flying monkeys are rapidly falling apart. Listen to me very closely right now, because 99% of people completely miss this massive quantum shift. The universe does not operate on basic human logic. It operates on a suppressed, synchronized coherence. You are actively bending time right now. The divine matrix algorithm is literally reconfiguring your exact cellular timeline today. You are completely protected. Time was supposed to age your physical body. They expected the severe daily stress to completely crush your beautiful spirit over many long, dark years. Instead, you walked through their toxic fire and aged backwards. You carry a specific gravity that makes time itself look like a total fool. You did not just survive their violent storm, you became the radiant sun that permanently blinds them. Let me explain the exact spiritual physics of your massive timeline jump today. When the Dark Triad manipulator tried to bury your bright light, they actually triggered a divine quantum acceleration. Your strict silence created a massive vacuum in the spiritual realm. The universe quickly rushed in to fill that empty space with pure golden energy. They cannot even comprehend your new biological rhythm. Type 1111 in the comments right now to physically anchor this exact shift into your daily reality. You must seal your energetic alignment before the enemy tries to distract you again. Do not let your left brain calculate or hesitate right now. That hesitation is the exact matrix programming designed to keep your vibration very low. Silence. The dark whispers immediately. Every single tear you cried was collected and converted into highly weaponized grace. The divine realm did not waste a single moment of your profound suffering. God intercepted your timeline and fast-forwarded your deep cellular healing process. While the narcissist is stuck repeating the exact same miserable karmic cycles, you have completely escaped their heavy gravitational pull. Read that again in your beautiful spirit today. The people who tried to destroy your good reputation are currently drowning in their own thick karmic mud. They are rapidly aging like cheap milk left out in the hot summer sun. Their face is severely drooping with the heavy weight of their hidden regrets, but your face is glowing with the undeniable light of a true chosen one. This brings us to a critical distinction that completely eludes the vast majority of ordinary people. You are not just healing from a bad, toxic relationship. You are actively rewriting the genetic code of your entire family bloodline. The heavy generational curses shatter the very second they touch your highly charged auric field. You are the powerful cycle breaker heaven has been waiting to deploy. But here is the raw, uncomfortable truth they could never dare to say out loud. The Dark Triad personality is intimately aware of your new supernatural status. They can literally feel your power growing stronger every single time they close their tired eyes. It terrifies them to their very rotten core. They know they missed their one tiny window of opportunity to permanently break your spirit. Stay with me because this next revelation is the absolute key to everything. The divine algorithm has placed an impenetrable hedge of spiritual protection around your daily life. Every trap they secretly set for you has been completely dismantled by invisible hands. Every nasty rumor they spread is actively turning the crowd against them instead of you. The universe is violently bending reality for you today. You are no longer waiting in a deep, heavy wound for a fake apology. You are the absolute master of your own timeline now. Your intuition is razor sharp, and your cellular knowing is fully activated today. When you walk into a room, the dark entities immediately flee in total terror, because they recognize the heavy spiritual authority you now carry on your proud shoulders. You are an irreplaceable diamond. Their frantic attempts to spy on you are failing miserably right now. The spiritual interference is blocking their evil gaze and sending painful static to their tired brains. They cannot crack your new divine code. They are locked completely outside of your beautiful promised land forever. Do not look back at their burning city. Your future is far too bright to worry about a dying parasite. I need you to physically feel this massive shift in your bones right now. The divine ultimatum has been firmly issued against your enemies in the high courts of heaven. The judge has banged the heavy gavel, and the final verdict is entirely in your glorious favor. Your strict obedience in the dark has triggered an avalanche of public blessings. You are about to step into massive wealth and absolute peace. They will watch you rise from the very mud they tried to bury you in, and they will realize with absolute horror that they handed you the exact keys to the glorious kingdom. Your pure silence is still ringing loudly in their completely empty heads. You broke the simulation, you bent time itself, and you emerged as the undeniable royalty of this massive spiritual awakening. Now, I need you to imagine this exact scenario clearly. The Dark Triad personality truly thought they built an unbreakable army. They deployed their loyal flying monkeys to completely destroy your good name, while they painted a beautiful picture of their own absolute innocence. And they convinced the entire group that you were the crazy one. But the foundation of their massive lies is rapidly cracking today. The exact people they used to gossip with are finally waking up. They are watching the manipulator unravel in real time. The flying monkeys are starting to compare their secret notes behind closed doors because they are noticing the massive, glaring holes in the fake story. And the very same people who helped crucify you are now turning their sharp pitchforks against the true villain. This is exactly where their entire manipulation completely miscalculated. The narcissist cannot maintain their fake mask under heavy pressure. They are throwing sudden public tantrums because they feel their control rapidly slipping away from their shaking hands. They demand absolute blind loyalty from their tiny group. But you cannot demand loyalty when your entire kingdom is built on fragile deceit. The grand illusion is fading fast. Pay close attention to this next part because the enemy tried to hide it. The manipulator is becoming incredibly paranoid today. They do not trust anyone in their inner circle anymore. They truly think everyone is secretly plotting against them, and the beautiful irony is that they are absolutely right about that. The flying monkeys are quietly jumping off the sinking ship right now. The severe betrayal they tried to force onto you is hitting them tenfold. Their best friends are secretly sending text messages about their erratic behavior. The group chats are lighting up with undeniable proof of their daily lies. They are completely losing their weak grip on reality, while every single time they try to play the victim, the crowd stares back in total cold silence. It is a glorious sight. You probably did not realize it, but your silence caused this civil war. When you completely removed yourself from the toxic equation, you forced them to eat each other. They no longer had a shared scapegoat to blindly attack. The Dark Triad needs a pure target to keep the flying monkeys perfectly distracted from the real truth. Without your pure light to violently attack, they turned their dark venom inward. Watch what happens next, because it is mathematically precise. The heavy stress of losing their fake reputation is severely destroying their physical body. They cannot sleep without constantly looking over their shoulder. They are physically exhausted from keeping their chaotic lies straight, and their eyes look completely hollow because they are carrying the heavy burden of their own evil karma. You were always the divine mirror they feared the most. When you finally walked away, the heavy mirror shattered into a million sharp pieces. And now those very sharp pieces are painfully cutting their bare feet with every single step they take. They tried to throw you entirely to the hungry wolves to save their own skin, but heaven reversed the spiritual trap and fed them directly to the exact wolves they trained. Underneath all of that loud noise, the specific gravity of their deep regret is hitting them. They are frantically searching for a brand new mask to wear because they desperately need to find a new sympathetic audience to easily manipulate. But their nasty reputation has already entered the room way before they even open the door. Everyone can clearly see the dark mark on their heavy forehead. Type 777 in the comments if you feel the atmosphere shifting. You are sitting in the absolute comfort of your divine protection today. You do not have to lift a single finger to defend your beautiful name. The universe is actively fighting this final battle for you, while the flying monkeys are doing the exact dirty work of exposing the Dark Triad. You are just a quiet spectator. Their entire smear campaign has violently backfired on their heads. The people who once blindly believed their nasty lies are now deeply apologizing to the universe for doubting you. They see the undeniable glowing grace on your face, and they instantly contrast it with the bitter, rotting decay on the face of the desperate manipulator. It is the absolute difference between pure heaven and dark hell. Let me reframe your entire reality right here and right now. You are not waiting for justice to eventually happen in the future. Divine justice is actively dismantling their entire life at this very second. The walls are closing in on them from every single direction because they cannot escape the heavy karmic debt they accumulated when they touched a chosen one. The collection agency of heaven is officially here. Their inner circle has become a literal war zone of pure paranoia. Every phone call they receive sends a sudden shock of terror through their nervous system. They are absolutely terrified that someone is secretly recording their unhinged public rants. The very same manipulation tactics they use to control the narrative are now being used against them by their own toxic friends. It is poetic, divine justice. Share this specific message with one soul who is desperately crying out in the dark. Be their guardian angel today. The Dark Triad runs from you because they finally realize you are highly protected. The people they used as weapons against you have completely surrendered, and the spiritual armor of the Chosen One is completely impenetrable. Get ready, because their total public collapse is mere seconds away. But here is the turning point where everything finally exploded. The climax you have been patiently waiting for is unfolding right now. The Dark Triad personality is standing in the exact room where they used to spread their toxic lies. But the atmosphere today is incredibly heavy and suffocating. They are trying to perform their usual charming routine, but the crowd is completely dead and silent. They feel the sudden shift in the cold room. They desperately try to pivot and play the innocent victim again. They open their lying mouth to complain about you. But before they can even finish their toxic sentence, someone in the crowd loudly interrupts them. The truth they tried to bury alive suddenly stands up and speaks. The mask does not just slip today, it violently shatters into tiny pieces. This is the exact public collapse I promised you. They are currently experiencing a full-blown internal system crash. You can literally see the sheer panic spreading across their rapidly aging face. Their hands are shaking uncontrollably. They are stuttering and tripping over their own tangled web of lies, while the very people they used to gossip with stare back in absolute total disgust. They wanted you completely buried in the dark dirt, but instead they became the exact shovel that dug up your beautiful treasure. The crowd is not just ignoring their pathetic excuses right now. The crowd is actively defending your pure name. Every single vicious lie they planted about you is suddenly catching fire and burning their own fragile house down to the ground. There is no escape route. Underneath all of that loud noise, the specific gravity of their profound regret is crushing their lungs. They look around the cold room and realize they are completely alone. The loyal flying monkeys have officially abandoned them. They are completely exposed under the harsh, bright lights of divine justice. They wanted to humiliate you publicly, but heaven flipped the script with absolute precision. You won this massive war without lifting a single finger. Your strict silence was a lethal weapon that starved their vicious demons. Now they are drowning in the terrifying noise of their own miserable making. They are frantically searching the empty room for a brand new target, but they quickly realize that your specific depth and pure grace are utterly unreplicable. They lost their rare diamond. Every time your beautiful name comes up in that room, it hits them with an agonizing heavy weight. They realize they threw away the only genuine diamond they ever held just to play with incredibly cheap rocks. The sudden realization is making them physically sick to their rotten stomach. They are publicly sweating and heavily panting, while the absolute truth completely devours their fake reputation. In their total manic panic, they actually start protecting your name. They are so incredibly broken that they start admitting their own toxic faults out loud. They confess that you were right about everything all along. They look absolutely insane to the surrounding crowd. They are fighting invisible demons in broad daylight, and you are safely seated hundreds of miles away in your pure, unbothered peace. The universe is officially reading the final verdict today. The high courts of heaven have ruled entirely in your glorious favor. You are not just a survivor of their demonic abuse. You are a demonstrated warrior of light. The people who completely doubted your quiet integrity are now bowing down to the raw truth you carried. They see the undeniable hand of divine protection resting on your shoulder. They are trapped inside a terrifying psychological prison. They desperately try to close their tired eyes to escape the public humiliation, but the inside of their own mind is far worse than the cold room. Your glowing face is the only thing they see in the dark. Your absolute victory is permanently tattooed on the inside of their heavy eyelids. They are forever haunted by the chosen one they betrayed. This is not just a temporary bad day for the narcissist. This is a permanent and irreversible karmic eviction. The universe has officially revoked their access to any high-frequency spaces. They are being completely forcefully downgraded to a lower dimension. They will spend the rest of their miserable life trying to recreate the magic they felt when they stood next to your radiant sun. But the door is permanently locked and sealed shut. The golden key has been completely destroyed. You walked out of their toxic matrix and aged backwards. You stepped into your permanent and untouchable ageless glow. While they are publicly unraveling, you are preparing to receive the massive harvest heaven promised you. Your divine vindication is fully complete and undeniably visible to the entire world. Drink in this glorious victory right now. The Dark Triad runs from a true chosen one because you always bring the fierce fire of divine justice. They played a stupid game and they won a permanent nightmare. You do not have to carry their heavy baggage for another single second. The heavy chains are completely shattered on the floor. Let the universe sweep up their broken pieces. You are totally free. Take a deep breath right now. The violent storm has officially passed. You are standing safely on the other side of the roaring sea. The enemies who chased you into the deep water have completely drowned in their own heavy karma. The spiritual war is totally over. You do not have to fight anymore. Heaven fought the final battle for you while you simply stood still in quiet faith. You walked into this dark season actively bleeding. You carried deep wounds inflicted by people completely blind to your massive worth. They treated you as an option and they drained your beautiful energy. But look closely at yourself right now. You are absolutely glowing. You are no longer waiting in a deep, heavy wound for an apology from a master manipulator. You have transcended their toxic matrix. While they are publicly unraveling, you are stepping into your permanent power. You possess an untouchable, ageless glow. The massive financial struggles and the severe spiritual exhaustion are shattering right here and right now. Step into your absolute power today. You must boldly receive the exact harvest heaven prepared for you. You are the glorious cycle breaker your family line desperately needed. The heavy generational patterns of poverty and broken relationships completely end with you. You are the specific chosen one heaven has been waiting to deploy. Your profound silence was a highly destructive weapon. That single act of choosing your dignity over your revenge signed their eviction notice. It handed the final verdict to a high court they cannot ever appeal. You are the ultimate victor today. The universe is not just restoring your lost peace. The divine realm is actively returning your financial stability and your physical health. The strange somatic weight you carried in your heavy chest is permanently gone. You will sleep peacefully through the entire night. The angels are standing guard around your beautiful home. You are vibrating at a frequency of pure, untouchable love today. Everything the Dark Triad stole from you is returning right now. The universe is actively multiplying your massive reward. Every single tear you cried in the dark is being completely converted into solid gold. The doors that were slammed in your face are being violently kicked open by invisible angels. God is preparing a massive table for you in the very presence of your panicked enemies. Which brings us to the final and undeniable verdict from heaven. If this profound confirmation aligns with your cellular knowing, we are going to seal this divine decree right now. The accuser will try to inject deep financial doubt into your left brain. He will desperately whisper for you to hesitate and wait. Silence him immediately. That hesitation is the exact matrix programming designed to keep you poor. You did not survive the violent fire just to live a mediocre life. The official verdict of explosive abundance has already been signed in heaven, but it requires a physical anchor on this earth to fully activate. God does not measure your faith by your quiet thoughts. He measures your deep faith by your speed of immediate obedience. The divine window of massive multiplication is standing wide open right now. The Dark Triad is absolutely terrified that you will take this final physical step. They know that your bold action permanently seals your energetic protection. When you open your hand to physically give you, completely destroy the dark spirit of lack they tried to curse you with. Heaven demands your immediate obedience to break the chains of poverty forever. Do not let the enemy steal this moment. Prove to the universe that you are finally ready to receive. Sow your financial seed today to partner your life with this divine mandate. Give a super thanks right now and watch heaven instantly multiply your harvest before the sun even rises. Your radical generosity physically triggers the massive wealth transfer. Do not let the dark elite block your massive shift. Act with extreme boldness today. Subscribe to this sacred sanctuary so you never miss the exact prophetic instruction heaven releases next. We are building an unstoppable army of true cycle breakers. Drop your city and nation in the comments below so we can map where the pure remnant is rising worldwide. We are completely taking back the spiritual territory the enemy stole. Our collective frequency is shattering the dark matrix today. Say this powerful statement out loud with me right now. I claim my permanent freedom. Now type the exact word freedom in the comments below to officially lock in your massive victory. The heavy chains are completely broken. You are the undeniable chosen one. You are deeply loved and highly protected by the divine creator. Walk forward in absolute peace and never look back at their burning city again.